Hi friends, welcome to my channel Antrikashala. All the videos in this channel is very useful for BTech and Polytechnic students in mechanical background and also those who are preparing for competitive exams. First, we will start with strength of material subject. Before going to the topic, I want to say one thing to you guys. Please watch this video from starting to ending. If so, you can understand the concept with crystal clear. Let's move on the topic guys. In this video, we will see the basic concept of strength of materials. That means load and what is the types of loads. At first, we see the types of bodies. There are 4 types of bodies that exist in our engineering field. And the first one is rigid bodies. Friends, if we applied some external force on the rigid bodies, the shape and size cannot be changed for that bodies. That's why it is called as a body of zero deformation. And we are all well known that the rigid bodies does not exist in a nature. It is a one hypothetical body. The study of rigid bodies is called as engineering mechanics. In engineering mechanics subject, we will dealing only on rigid bodies. Second one is deformable bodies or resisting bodies. Friends, now I am taking deformable body and I am applying same external force which was taken on rigid bodies. Then the body of deformation after applying the load is very small. Here very small means the strain rate of the body is less than 5%. We will see the strain rate concept in the next coming classes, but from now you just remember the point. Okay guys, as the strain rate is less than 5%, the deformable bodies is also called as the body of small deformation, and the study of these deformable bodies or resisting bodies is called as the strength of materials. And the third one is flexible bodies. As I repeated the above experiment on the flexible bodies and observing the deformation of the flexible bodies is very large. That means the strain rate is greater than 5%. That's why the flexible bodies is also called as the body of large deformations. In the design of machine member subject, we will deal only on flexible bodies. Friends, let's see some examples here. Springs, belts, ropes, chains, etc. These are all the flexible bodies. We will design all the above examples in design of machine member subject. And here the last one, fluid bodies. Guys, if we are applying some external force on the fluid body, the deformation rate of the fluid body is infinity. That means the fluid body can't resist the external force or external loads. Okay guys, the study of fluid bodies is called as the fluid mechanics. Friends, by clearly observing here, the study and analysis of each and every body is the one subject in mechanical engineering department. Now coming to the subject we need is the study or science of deformable body or resisting bodies is known as strength of materials or mechanics of solids, as I already discussed above guys. Here another name of strength of material is mechanics of solids. In this subject we will be deal about loads, stresses, strains, elongations, deflection of bars, movements, shear force and bending moment diagrams, deflections of beams, torsions, etc. etc. But in this particular video we will learn the concept of loads, and the remaining concept we will learn in upcoming classes. And here the concept is loads. Simply load is defined as any externally applied forces or movements on the body. It is called as a load, and load is denoted by capital P, and its unit is newtons or kilonewtons. And next we will see its types. In general, loads are classified in many ways. Here the first classification guys, the first classification is based on the direction of loads. For better understanding, I am taking one Cartesian coordinate system of x, y, z axis. These 3 axes are perpendicular to each other. And again, This first classification is divided into 4 types. On that first one is if the load is acting along the x direction. That type of load is called axial loads. Again, these axial loads is divided into 2 types. One is tensile loads and another one is compressive loads. Tensile loads. For suppose I am considering one cylindrical rod. If I am applying 2 equal loads in opposite direction, one is positive x direction and another one is negative x direction, as you seen in the below figure, then the cylindrical rods will lead to elongation. Then the type of load is called tensile loads. Compressive loads. If I am applying the loads towards the body, then the load is called compressive loads. The compressive loads will lead to contraction. The contraction is nothing but it will decrease its length. And second one in the first classification. If the load is acting along the y direction or z direction, then the type of loads is called transverse loads. In the below figure, the left hand side diagram shows the load is acting in y direction and the right hand side figure shows the load acting in z direction. These two are transverse loads, but the directions are different. One is y direction and another one is z directions. Third one in first classification. If movement is acting about x-axis, then that type of load is called as torsional movement. As shown in the below figure, if we consider one cylindrical rod which is fixed at one end and on the other end we will apply the movement about x-axis, then the type of movement is called as the torsional movement. And fourth one in the first classification. If movement is acting about y-axis or z-axis, then the type of load is called bending moment. In the below figure, the left hand side diagram shows the movement is acting about y-axis. Then the type of movement is called bending moment about y-axis. And in right hand side figure shows the movement is acting about z-axis. And the second classification is based on the variation of loads with respect to time. Again, on this classification, the loads are divided into 2 types. One is static load. For example, I am considering one body. On that, I am applying some load of some magnitude in some direction. If the magnitude, direction and the point of application of the load is not changing with respect to time, then the type of load is called static load. And the second type is dynamic load. Dynamic load is the load if the magnitude, direction and the point of application of the load is changing with respect to time, then the type of load is called as the dynamic load. Again, this dynamic load is divided into 2 types. One is periodic loading and another one is non-periodic loading. Periodic loading. Periodic loading is nothing but a cyclic loads. Here are the some examples where the cyclic load is acting. Shaft with eccentricities, at gears, at pistons, at crankshaft, at connecting rod, at gravity die forging. And non-periodic loadings. Non-periodic loadings is nothing but non-cyclic loadings. And this non-periodic loading is act at the suspension system at the landing of aeroplanes. Third classification is based on the time of load application. On this classification, the loads are divided into 4 types. First one, gradually applied loads or quasi-statically applied loads. As the name says that when we applied the load in installments, for example, load of 10 newtons to be applied, then first we applied a load of 1 newton, then 2 newtons, then 3 newtons, like that 10 newtons load is applied. Overall, it caused the less stress and less strain by comparing to the other type of loads. The gradually applied load will come under the static load only. Here are the some examples where the gradually applied loads are applied at the time of tension test and self weight. Second one, suddenly applied loads. Suddenly applied loads are defined by rapid changes in magnitude. For example, at the beginning of the load application, there is no load is acting on the body, and after a very small time, if we applied a load of some magnitude, then the type of load is called suddenly applied loads. And here are the some example, guys. When we apply brakes, clutches, and train travels on tracks. And next, third one is impact loads. Impact loads are produced due to impact of bodies, that is, bodies coming in contact with some relative velocity. For example, at the time of hammering, we apply only impact load, guys. Okay, next, fourth one, shock loads. Shock loads is the term used to describe the sudden force exerted when an object suddenly accelerates or deaccelerates. Here are the example, guys, at the time of bomb explosion. And fourth one is based on forces applied proportional to the dimensions. In this classification, loads are classified into four types. The first one is when we applied forces proportional to the volume. Here self-weight, buoyancy force and inertia force comes under the volume category, guys. And second one, when forces is applied proportional to the area. Here pressure, viscous force are come under into this category. And third one, forces applied proportional to the length. Here uniformly distributed load, uniformly varying load, surface tension force will come under to the length category. When force is applied at the particular point, then the load is called point load or concentrated load. Guys, especially point load or concentrated load and uniformly distributed load and uniformly varying load, these three loads are very important at the time of shear force diagram and bending moment diagram concept. And the fifth classification is based upon the temperature difference, thermal loads. Due to the temperature change of the material, the internal force produced due to constraints of the body. For example, we clearly observe that in summer season the expansion of rail is occurring. That type of loads is called thermal loads. Thank you for watching video, guys. We will see the remaining topics in the next classes. I hope you like this video, guys. Please do like, share and subscribe to Yantrika Shala.